start করছি. Good morning, everybody. In today's particular web platform for dialogue session, today is our storytelling day. So let's welcome Sanchita Basu. She is a special educator. She is a wonderful person in her field of special education for the special child in our society. And as we all believe that every child is a gift from God, so the special child is also the special gift towards their parents. But particularly in this pandemic, we have to take care them in a very special care because the support system is not been that much active as before. So let's welcome Sanchita Basu for our today's particular webinar. It's not kind of a regular webinar, it's more of a storytelling day. So I welcome Sanchita. She is a very good friend of mine and it's a long awaited session with her. So Sanchita, please let's start our today's session.
It was nice to you. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk about the children in this platform. Thank you.
Yeah, please continue.
So I would like to say that first of all, in this pandemic situation, it is yes, definitely it's we always the thing to see the negatives. We know there are a lot of negative things, but yes, this pandemic situation is very new for everybody, not only for disabled children, but for all of us in this present condition world. So I would say that yes, we are doing mistakes. We are learning from it. It has been months, and initially we were making few mistakes. Now we are again changing it. We are doing some changes. But you know what is happening is nowadays it is very sad that for the special need children, many of them are not. Many of them were not listening, but thankfully, few organizations whom I am associated with indirectly or directly, or my seniors, when they share, I feel good. For example, say when it started, the pandemic situation started, there's one organization, Enable India. They wanted to have a discussion like this, and so I also came to know, it was so nice coming to know that people are coming forward to help each other. They are going and delivering the daily need things and all to the disabled person, like the person who are totally blind, or especially in Pune, I can say you that. But if you think about the students with disability who are working, who are actually in the schools, that is becoming very difficult. Or the ones, especially the students, are getting affected more, I will say, because when a class is being taken, many a times it has been seen that the child cannot follow. And then when the teachers are asked to, keep on saying, then that is becoming difficult for the parents as well as for the teacher to have a cooperation in understand what exactly the child will be benefiting, because this is totally a new thing. All classes are very new, so the child, regular children are not getting a difficulty in understanding it. So for a special child it is very difficult. So the parents also need to understand, as well as the teachers also need to understand, and the parents should have that kind of patience to understand the condition of the teachers, because for the teachers it is totally a new setup. And if you see, it's very sad that with the condition in which the fees and all these problems were coming out in the news we have seen, it's very sad from the parent side of view that they did not want to give the fees and all, but the school had to give that much of effort. And for that, initially they needed quite a good amount of money to be invested for the setup to happen. So it was a two process, but anyway, the parents side also, we understand the pandemic situation, all it's learning for us. So anyway, but for special needs children, I would say that few schools have those who have bought a school special educators. They are doing better. But most of the schools who doesn't have a special educator or a counselor, they are going through a tremendous kind of a hard time actually. So, and with the results and all, now what is happening is that they are continuously approaching. You will see in the advertisements, can we get a special educator or can we get, because of why, because they are being it's totally different, and the special setups are also, the special clinics are also not opening, so it is becoming very difficult for them. Uh, so I just wanted to
Right.
know this. And another thing
Yes.
which I would share with
Yeah.
you also, I would like to share with you. There is an organization, Stuti. I just came to know because I know Shampa ma'am from a long time. She's actually a social activist in this disability field for a long, long time. Now, I just came to know that with their support, now when the municipal corporation wanted to go for this door to door kind of this comorbidity cases, for they wanted to find out these cases, they had the caste and religion and all these kind of categories. But in spite of seeing from the who that the special needs children have a lot of problems, that category should have been incorporated. So I just came to know that with Stuti and Shampa ma'am's effort and her team's effort, it has been also added as a criteria. So it's a good thing which Kolkata Municipal Corporation is doing, and other places are also doing. Actually, it's a learning process. So many things are happening, and the ones which are not happening, we have to take steps to improve that.
I just have one question, and it's kind of my
Yes.
personal question. That when you are dealing with the very, they are very sensitive, like the special children. So when the actually the pandemic has been started in the month of March, what were their response that they are not having the regular classes, regular activities that they are missing, going to miss? So what were their reaction and what were their feeling as a educator? What did you feel that how much they are depressed?
Oh, man, the kind of a condition which they are going through, they were totally confused. That was a confused state, and they wanted to get into the classes. But then what happened was that for the school or for organizations, you cannot blame them also, because that was a new setup for them also. So they wanted to start off with the children with special needs also, keeping in mind their condition. They had to make the whole thing in a within a short period. The schools had to get the setup done for the special needs children also. So the children want, they were actually, still now they actually miss the school. If you ask them, they will say that, ma'am, I'm missing the school like anything. Why am I not being able to go? What will happen? Why these things are happening? When will this corona go away? All this kind of, because they don't understand. In spite of keeping on telling them, we are making a lot of social stories with them so that they understand it in their level. So what we are doing is that we are asking them to wear the mask regularly, and then start their online classes. One thing, because that will help them to have this kind of a system, because for this kind of children, this is very important. So whenever they are in the classes, if they wear the mask and sit, then that will become a habit for them, and then it will be good for them, because this will continue for a long time. Once the school reopens also, they will have to wear the mask. So it's better to make them wear the mask while having the online classes and do the class, so then it becomes a habit for them, first of all thing. Then when they are given the break, sometimes the teacher says, are you washing your hand, are you sanitizing your hand? So these kind of things keeps on, they are getting a reminder of this, they are using this in front of them, it is there. So this will then, it's like a shaping of behavior, that okay, once the class is done, I have to sanitize my own hand, and then I can touch any other thing. So these kind of things. Then distance, when you are sitting with your mother, she is at home, so you are sitting with her. When you will be going with your friends, then you should always maintain that distance. So you should always hold the hand, but you do need to stretch your hand, so that your hand, you will keep that, maintain that distance. So these kind of things we have to keep on telling the children, so that they understand that. Another thing is that because they at times you will see that they are having this kind of network issues like we just had. So these kind of things they should be also aware, because of for children like autistic children, they have this kind of why this is happening, some irritation happens, they are already in that kind of a stress, anxiety continues, why the network is not happening. So the teachers are sending the links to them, so now they are now, initially it was very difficult, but now they have understood that yes, this is a part and this is how also we can do it. So these things are happening. But there are some limitations always for the senior very severe children. There are limitations, of course, because the organization or the center where they used to go, that was a place only where they could go and meet their friends. That is not happening. That is a sad thing, so we have to work out on that also. Let's see how we do it.
Perfect. Thank you, Shanchita. And another point is when we are dealing with this kind of special child, we have to keep in mind that, as you already pointed out, that it's a kind of a habit that must start with a very initial stage. So whenever the pandemic has been arise initially, you taken the right point that wearing mask every time. So that was the habit that has been actually practicing since it's been started. So in a long run,
Yes.
when they will go back to the class, they will not feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable, and it will, it will be kind of a great regular practice for them, and washing hands as well. But I would like
Yes.
to know that who are being agitated somehow. So how to control
Mhm.
their agitation, because they, wearing the mask is not the comfortable thing, even for us, for we
Mhm.
are so-called normal. So
Mhm.
I believe that we are so-called normal. So in this normal mentality, we sometimes feel agitated and not feel comfortable wearing the mask. So how would we expect that who are the special child, they are not in a mental state to accept this kind of change, this type of uncertainty in their life? So how would they cope up with this kind of scenario? And would you think that in a long run it would be easier for them to cope up with this kind of pandemic and wearing the mask, washing their hands, or sanitize every time? So what do you think?
It's a challenge, of course, it's a challenge for them. But then when we started, the pandemic started, then the conditions were different. But now we are also, it's sometimes it's very amazing for many children who are adapting to this condition. So it's nice to see that they are adapting. But then for limit, there will be some limitations, of course. Now for the children who have got behavior issues and all, we have to keep on changing the mask. Then we have to keep on, we have to see, because once the organization starts, the special school starts, or the schools, regular schools, where inclusive schools where the children are going, they start going, it is a learning. We have to again keep ourselves open to learn from this situation, that maybe a session or two will go to make them understand, yes, you have to wear the mask. When I go to an inclusive school, usually my students, I always give a visit. Many teachers, there are many good special educators who every time goes for a round and see how the children are behaving in the class. Similarly, we have to keep that point also in mind, that whether the child is wearing the mask and sitting or not. At times we have to give them some rewards, that okay, if you wear it for so long, then you will get it. Maybe for time out, the condition which we do for behavior therapies, so time out can be done for them, where for keeping themselves out of the mask, by keeping them in isolation in our account remedial rooms or something like that. That will be helpful maybe. Or we can have nice bottles, or a very nice good looking child friendly mask, and also that they wear it as an incentive, we can give them something like that. Or maybe one class off, so that you don't have to do this class if you wear this, something rewarding, so that it becomes good for them, so that
Wonderful.
he
That's
also gets a
wonderful.
good thing.
Yes, to attract, yes, to attract the child's, attraction. So thank you, Shonzita.
And
And
actually, the
yeah.
children are very I just want to say, these kind of children, they love cuddling, they love hugs and all. So but now we have to teach them that how to do virtual things. So it's a learning for us as well as for them. And certain things which corona is actually teaching us, uh, there is a touch therapy. These kind of things we have to now stop it, and we have to see other ways out. So it's in the experimental stage again. A lot of things in this field are there to be researched on, but this is again another thing which we have to do a research and understand how the things can happen
So I
for
think
deafblind children, for
this
autistic children.
pandemic is opening up new research module that would be coming in,
Of
I think,
course,
after, of course.
of course, of course, of course.
So it's a new
And
challenge
I
as
would,
well as research opportunity upcoming for you also.
yes, this, as a professionals, we should take it in a very positive way. One thing I would say that yes, we are doing, but it's very sad. I would like to share in your platform, since I got this opportunity, that we need to, understand the child, we need to understand the parents, and make them understand us. It's a joint effort from both the ends. And maybe it's taking all of, we are all in a kind of a condition, in a struggling condition, we understand, but then the children should benefit. For that reason, I would say that when we are referring to the other professionals, we need to keep that in mind, that we should be thinking that now the child is not coming to us physically, or we are not going to them physically and doing the work. So if we can just think about our own way of giving some concessions, or understanding, it's a learning for us, so we can take it in a very positive learning mode, then it becomes easier, because it is very sad that there are many organizations who are opening up, or there are many professionals who are wanting to take the classes virtually, but then they are asking for the fees which they used to ask regular, when the child used to go to them regularly. So now it is a just a request from, not only from me, but many other professionals from my field will be saying the same thing. Let us all understand the condition of each other, hold our each other's hand, and try to help others and learn from this situation also. And some concessions, I would suggest, especially for the fees concession, if you say that, please try to do that, because we are not doing personally many things. And thank you, Shati, for giving me this opportunity to share this kind of a thing in the platform, because I wanted to share in this kind of a platform, because it's a good thing we are doing it, but then we have to learn many things from each other. So let us all be by the
Thank you.
side of the parents also
Thank you for
and
pointing
child
out
also.
this. That is very, very important that they are not reducing the fees. Rather, sometimes they are asking extra money that they are using internet. So the internet charge have to be, bear by the
Yes, it is
family.
sad.
And it's
Yeah,
very sad to
but
hear.
if we study, no, but there are a lot of, nowadays they are giving the internet companies are also giving lot of deductions and all. So if we
Yes.
go there and study that, and let us all be professionals, very good professionals, because the professionals who are dealing with this kind of children, it's a good thing that we are professionals as well as we are doing a social work also. So let
Yes.
us have that kind of a positive attitude and move forward. It's a motion. Let us
But
all move
in
towards a
society
positive.
we have lots of people with different aspect in their life, so we can't expect that everybody would be similar thinking. But thank you so much, Shonchita, for pointing
Yeah.
out this very important aspect. And it's kind of an extra burden for the family who are having the special child, because they are already, I think, mentally not accepting, and who are mentally accepting some, due to this pandemic, some unemployment and financial burden is very heavily on them. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Shonzita. And I really congratulate you that you have done 50% off for your existing payment mode. So thank you and congratulate
Thank
you
you so
for
much.
taking up the initiative. Thank you. I really
It's just
appreciate
a
your
blessing.
way of thinking and way of understanding towards the family as well. So
No, we
here
have
we
to,
are
because
almost.
when we are taking sessions, we can understand how the children are behaving, and
That's
they're
right.
so happy seeing us. Na? When you're taking sessions with them, as soon as they see us, they are so happy. And we can understand as parents how difficult it is for them to, at times it is so sad thing to see that the child is getting just a kind of slap and all, which the parents don't want us to give it, but it's so easily coming from their side. So then immediately we have to stop the session and make them understand that please don't do that. This is a wrong thing which you are doing. Just keep that patience with you. So we can understand why they are doing out of frustration. First of all, acceptance is a problem with the parents. Then the frustration which is going on, these pandemic situations have made them
Absolutely.
so that things are all so uncertain for them.
It's very
So we need
uncertain,
to,
and all
all
of
the
a sudden
professionals,
it's
if the
changed. All of a sudden
yes,
it's entirely changed.
yes,
We have to be at our home
yes,
every time.
yes,
We can't go out and meet our friends, our
yes,
relatives. So mental
yes,
agitation is very, very normal. But at the same time, we have to be, as you said, that we have to be have patience. But sometimes it's not like
yes,
that. But the special child, they are so innocent. They will open up and share their
yes,
frustration to you very easily. So that's the
yes,
point you are rightly
yes,
pointed out. So we are almost at the end of our discussions. We don't have much time, and I know you
yes.
are very busy with your very special students. So I will not take much time of your.
Yeah.
But last but not the least, I would like
No,
to
no.
know that with the policy making, I would like to have some suggestion, some recommendation from you, because you are in the field and you are in the special education for a long time. I know you since our Delhi days. So I really would like to know that what would be your recommendation for the policymakers, so we can have some bullet point something, so we can have a writings and can share in the social media. So I hope it will reach to our policymakers in the special education in a long run.
Yes, first and foremost, like I told you, I shared just now. I came to know from Shruti Shampa ma'am that they have added one, category, that disability category that should be there always, and we need to understand what kind of problems they are facing. So first and foremost, we have to make that list of things, because these kind of children, they are prone to cough and cold, and when corona is related to that, so we have to make sure that whether it is actually their chest condition which they have, what is it related to, those things have to be kept in mind. Another thing which is there, which I always find out, that in education things, now we have to understand that we need to have social stories and all these things more in literature and literature chapters and all, so that becomes easier for them, that it is actually teaching both ways, like moral stories we used to do. So if that can be done in as literature or in language chapters, then it becomes easier and it saves the time for the teachers as well as the child. Then another thing is that the language should not be a barrier for them. It can be in any language, because now since they are more in at home and they are knowing more of the mother tongue, so now they're listening to mother tongue more, and so we are expecting them to write down the sentences comprehending. That is becoming that is a gap, actually that will become a big gap when the child comes to school, because so much of comprehension cannot be done, because when the child is at school, the child is getting exposure of English more. But now when the child is at home, the child is learning and listening to the parents. So that kind of things, we have to understand that like we have it in NEP this time, that the language should till class 5 we have to have the mother tongue can be done. So that should be a good thing. And more or less the NEP has covered it all. So we have to know about the physical barriers. The environment should be barrier free, physical barrier free. Those things have to be kept in mind, and let's work together and see how the NEP first works, and then we will keep on, amendments should keep on happening, so that we can improve ourselves. That's it.
So much, Shojita. Thank you for pointing out very important aspect in special education, particularly in this pandemic, and how it's actually affecting us also. Because since we are not dealing the special child directly, but it's indirect effect to the society as well. Because as in a society, we are all together with this holistic approach, and that is the essence of, I think, Indian society. That whenever you are going to see a special child, maybe it's not from your own family, maybe you're not in your relative, but if he or she in your neighborhood, I think a positive approach can change everything. That's what I believe from my personal note. So thank you so much, Shonchita, for this wonderful session. And I hope that we will have more session like this in our near future. So I just request Shonchita to just on your video so we can have a picture together. Shonchita, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah, please. So
Yeah. Am I audible and visible?
you are audible, but you are not visible. Yeah, nowadays network is a big issue. We can't do anything. Yes. Yes. Now we can able to see you. Yeah. Just a moment. I'm going to click. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much.
Shweta.
Thank you,
Thank
Swati.
you.
Wonderful.
Take care. Take care. I hope, Sanchita, in near future we can have kind of a workshop and training module for the special child all together with this platform. So let's hope for best. It's just the trailer or teaser,
Yes,
you
I'm
would say.
always there.
Movie is upcoming. So with this teaser, we can have good response from the audience, and we hope that we will have funding for the special child particularly. And I have,
Sure.
very last question to you. Um, how the prayer and faith towards God is actually affecting special child. Do you have any comment on that? Yes.
Thank you so much. Just wanted to say you thank you.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
because
The network issues. There is a
Yes.
network
Yes.
issue. So
Yes.
that is why it is becoming difficult.
No, it's okay.
So
It's okay.
anyway,
Absolutely
giving me an
fine.
opportunity, thank you so much.
Yes. Bye bye. Take care.
Okay.